Hey, good Monday morning. I'm your host, BKP. It's 8 a.m. on the East Coast. Welcome to Good Morning from the Office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You can always reach the show, get involved with what's happening, give us your opinion of the content or what we're talking about throughout the show, or just send us information. You're the research department out there, or 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is the news hotline, and that's how you can reach us. 706-889-9700. Chief at FetcherNews.com and all the social media ways you can follow us. Now, a lot of times, I hope you had a great weekend, right? It did not rain. Okay, it did not rain for those of you in Georgia and North Georgia that, you put up all the, social media pictures all over rain. It did not rain this past weekend. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful weekend. Hope you enjoyed it. Most shows or news or whatever you want to call it, this is an opinion show, start out with, all of the lead things that of most interest or that will get you to stay engaged in the show. And they usually end with a feel good. And before we end our show today, let's give you this nice feel good story. But I want to do that backwards because I like to remind myself and also out there, maybe you, in something kind. Let's have number 22. Okay. Look at that hat. He's on an electric scooter there. Look at that hat. World War II veteran, 95 years old. And I'm going to start out and give, anytime I see somebody treat one of our veterans with this kind of respect, the Ingalls Pharmacy in Blue Ridge, okay? The Ingalls Pharmacy in Blue Ridge, I went up there yesterday. I had a prescription I had to pick up. And there's about 6 people in line, and this gentleman on the electric scooter's up front, and he is asking an enormous amount of questions about his medication. And he needed a printout of all of his medication and his expenses for 2018. And he kept asking questions. And that pharmacist was so patient, so kind, and polite to this gentleman. I mean, just so kind. She did not look, and I want to say it like this, she did not look as though there's 6 people in line. This is taking a lot of time. People are waiting. She focused on this World War II veteran, and I want to give a big shout out to Ingalls Pharmacy yesterday, Sunday afternoon. This guy. I didn't get his name. I know I didn't get his name, but when he turned, a lady in front of me thanked him for his service, and we asked him how old he is. He's 95. And he said, there's not many of us left. So I got to shake his hand. I said, can I take your picture? He said, you'll break the camera. But I wanted to start with that. So God bless America, okay? God bless America. God bless the USA. And thank you, Ingalls Pharmacy, yesterday afternoon in Blue Ridge, for being so kind to this World War II veteran. Okay, moving right along. You take that off the screen. And I want to start with that so many different ways. I don't know what we're going to do to remind the next generation, the generation that's here now, the next generation, that 40 to 50, 30 to 40, 20 to 30, 10 to 20, I mean, what are we going to do? And there's a difference, folks. And we're not going to go down a road to start out, but there's a difference in World War II veteran, Korean War veteran, Vietnam veteran. There's a difference. You're going to say a veteran's a veteran. Wait. Just relax. I respect that, okay? I respect the men and women. And see, World War II veterans, okay, right down to, let's just say, Vietnam, they didn't go in for the education. They were not recruited in, okay, by a volunteer. They were not a volunteer force. They were drafted in. They were not a volunteer force because of the education benefits that our government was giving out. All right, I'm always cautious, but I guess this is what the Democrats consider progress. Number 37, you have an LGBT, okay? You have an LGBT transgender pride flag hung in Congress by Representative Jennifer Wexton, okay? Newly elected Representative Jennifer Wexton, Democrat of Virginia, started her term with a statement of transgender equality by hanging a trans pride flag outside her office in Washington. This is what the Democrats consider progress in America. This is what they do. Hey, you can believe me if you want. Number 35, okay. All right. Now, I'm not going to spend 2 hours discussing the Muslim religion and the Quran, okay? But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to look in the camera, all right? I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. We can, in my house growing up, if we said we hated somebody, we got a smack. We didn't hate anybody. We were told we disliked their ways. That's what we were told. My mom said we dislike their ways very much. We don't hate people. So there you go. So I'm not going to tell you I hate these people, but I am going to tell you this. According to the Constitution of the United States, there's no way you could take the oath of office on the Quran and vow to defend the Constitution of the United States. Can't happen. But this one right here, let's leave her up for a minute. This is Democrat progress. This is what they think, okay? All right. Won't take but a second. Had here a minute ago. Dems change House rules to allow lawmakers to wear religious headwear. Now, her name is the newly Democratic-controlled House overhauled a 181-year-old rule that banned hats from the floor of the floor to accommodate lawmakers who wear religious headgear. Now, you may think this is a joke, but I sure hope that nobody walks in with Mickey Mouse ears. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that I'm being funny. No. I'm very serious. Anybody that walks in right now with anything on their head, if they would determine and say, this is a religious head covering. Oh my gosh. All right. The ban was lifted in a provision including in the rules package that the House passed 234 to 197. Vote on Thursday. The rule change overhaul the ban on head coverings, which has reportedly been in place since 1837. See, up to 1837, they probably felt there was no reason to have it on the rules, because then one day maybe somebody walked in and said, "Oh, I guess we're going to have to make a rule now." But since 1837, all right, the move also arrived the same day Congress welcomed 2 female Muslims. Now, she's from Minnesota, and her name's Ayan Omar. Okay? And right there, alone, is the reason the House changed rules for religious head coverings. That's progress to Democrats. Progress. Now, we're going to get into the government shutdown. We promise we'll go there in just a minute. Okay? Government shutdown, that's progress. Now, let's play our video, which we know probably every viewer that's watching our show has already witnessed over and over. But let's just play it to go into what we're going to discuss to continue that Democrat progress. Play that video I sent you, Josh.
Love you, and you win. And when your son looks at you and says, "Mama, look, you won," bullies don't win. And I said, "Baby, they don't, because we're gonna go in there, we're gonna impeach the mother." Baby, they don't, because we're gonna go in there, we're gonna impeach the mother. Don't, because we're gonna go in there, we're gonna impeach the mother.
Okay, that's number 36. And she's from Michigan. Okay. Representative Rashida, I think, Tabai. I don't know. I don't know the name. The second Muslim woman. And she told her son that. Now, Democrats have come out and defended her. We're going to impeach the MFer. Okay? Democrats have come out and on all the shows when asked, very few times when asked, well, and Nancy, well, you know, different choice of words, wish you would, you know, you could say whatever, but no condemnation of saying we're going. Now, they have gone on and on about Trump and Trump's profanity-laced tirades. Okay, all right, fine. But you got to understand, Mama, the bully didn't win. That's the part that gets me, is who she's talking to. Now, I don't know, you were probably raised up in a house maybe much like mine where we were taught that two wrongs don't make a right. So if it's wrong, to use this foul language, and if it's wrong, if Donald Trump is wrong for the youth of America, you know, and we got to keep him away from the youth of America because of his language and the way he treats women and all the above. This woman is talking to her son. How much respect does her son have for the office of the presidency of the United States? Because that's all I keep hearing is Trump has no respect for the office. How is she being taught? Should he not be taught that, hey, you know what? We don't see eye to eye with this president. We disagree with most of this president's policies, but we've got to understand in the United States of America that gave us this great opportunity to come in here, okay, as Muslims and get elected and serve in Congress. This is the way we do it. This is the way it's set up. So there are things in place by the Constitution of the United States. If we don't agree with the President of the United States, we could go into impeach. Explain it to the kid. Mama, the bully didn't win. That's right, baby. That's right. Because we're going to go down there. I could see him already as a next generation Muslim in love with our country. All right, that's Democrat progress. I don't know. I know that has gone out before. There's a little bit of that's old news. But trust me, the crazies have taken the chamber. And what's next is next. All right, now here's what I want to say. Okay? I want to show this picture. I'm going to take a break and we're going to come back and talk about border security. Now, is the wall to keep you in? Yes, that's not yes. That is what the deep state media is saying, that Trump can't walk away from this because the wall is not to keep illegals from invading our country. The wall is to keep you in and you supporting Donald Trump as the President of the United States. is the wall to keep you in. And what did I tell you Friday? I think I said it Thursday. Okay, I think I read it right here on the show Thursday. I know on the All-Star panel I brought it up and said, hey, keep an eye on your senator. Now, I support our senator. I think our senator has done, I guess 85%, if you're going to give him a percentage, 85% here in the state of Georgia. And I want to put the picture up before. I want to go to number 1, okay? And I clipped this on a live screen, so it is kindly marked over there, okay? Vulnerable Republicans. Now, what did I say Friday? I said, keep an eye on Senator David Perdue. They've already marked him. I said that Friday on the show in Georgia. Okay. Now, Cory Gardner is already, who else did I say? Joni Ernst. You can go back to Thursday's show, and I went over the list. I went over the list on Thursday's show right here. I went over the list of Democrats. All right. McSally, right? Went over this list. Cory Gardner, Ernst in Iowa, Collins, Tillis, and Senator Perdue. It has started. Now, what's not on this list? Vulnerable Republicans. Who's not on this list? We'll come back. We're going to start right here. When we return, will the Republican Senate cave? Will they? We'll see. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. It's, here is an amazing fact. Here's an amazing fact I also want to talk about this morning on the show is 800,000, and we'll get into this, 800,000 federal employees. 800,000 federal employees. A partial shutdown equals 800,000 federal employees. I think the real eye-opener here is that 800,000 federal employees is just in a partial shutdown, government shutdown. That needs to be the eye-opener, all right? And you know what? TSA, maybe it's time for a major overhaul of the TSA. Maybe this is the perfect timing for a major overhaul at TSA. And let's see if the airlines want to pay the TSA bills instead of us. Why are we waiting for us to pay the TSA bills? How come the airlines? How come not the airlines? I know I hear all the yelling now, you can't privatize TSA. Maybe it is time for a TSA overhaul. That could be possible. They're calling in sick because they're not getting paid. All right, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. How come nobody's talking about the gas prices? We will here. How come nobody's talking about 312,000 jobs over and above like the 155 or something they expected, almost double what was expected? How come they're not talking about that? Maybe the 312,000 jobs don't equal the national disgrace, a national crisis, a nation in crisis. I mean, all of the bad things, the disasters that are going on in this country that the deep state media is trying to manipulate and make you believe it's so terrible out there. We'll talk about all that when we return. But will those Republicans stand firm on the Senate, or what will they do? Take us a break, Josh.